Hi, this is Editing Brandon. Just want to let you know for the Citadel interview, my audio was garbage. I had, I guess, put my noise gate up too high because basically I have my AC running and I put it up way too high. So I basically cut myself out in some parts. The Citadel guys were great. Their audio was fine. So there won't be any issues on their end, but my end, there's probably some words and phrases and things that probably could have been a little bit better. Yeah, a little frustrated about that, but hey, it happens. You know, things change. But definitely, that should not stop you from checking out Citadel. They're an awesome band from Australia, and I had the great pleasure of having them on. And I feel like they are going to be such a huge band this year. So definitely go check them out. Links in below. But yeah, definitely enjoy the rest of this video. Again, apologies for the poor audio. I did wind up getting it fixed in later videos, so just keep your eyes out for more videos to come where I would hope the audio is good. I'm going to double check just because this is the editing day, but yeah, either way, please go check out Citadel. And yeah, look out for a reaction video very soon. All right, enjoy the video, guys. Peace. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio to have Citadel all the way from Australia and the band.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Russell. I do vocals.
And I'm Nat, and I play guitar.
There we go. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I want to give a massive shout outs to Ophelia. I feel like she's like my premier lady in terms of finding Australian bands. You know, she's divine. You know, she finds these great bands that I like. This is my new favorite band. So, you know, thank you. Appreciate it. Love. But guys, I have to ask, you know, I'm sure you get asked this a lot, you know, how did Citadel start out? How did you guys form? Spare no expense. I have nothing left to do for the rest of my evening here in the States. So you take all the time you need to explain the apology of Citadel.
Yeah, we originally got asked by someone who's not in Citadel to be in a band. He had like an album to work on, and so and we were in the middle of spicy cough season, so we didn't really like have a lot else to do. So we were just like sort of pre-proing an album, turned it into like EPs, and then right when we got everything sorted, we were like, "This, I don't know if this is working for everybody. Like, not everybody was happy with like getting to the same place with the band." That somebody else wanted, and then we kind of called it there. But then Nat had been working on some stuff. He had some stuff in the pocket, and he was like, "Oh, how about we do this?" Like he'd semi-recently been inspired a lot by like Sleep Token, and he wanted to add some like thoughts that he learned about Sleep Token into his normal writing, and he got us in to start working on songs. We didn't know what we were doing with it, so it took like 12 months to really like get anywhere in terms of being a real band. But yeah, and then so it was myself, Nat, and Liam, and then we didn't have a drummer that could play the songs for a long time, and then we just put out a Facebook ad, and somehow got one of the best drummers in Australia to be interested. And then we got Lewis.
Yeah, and then we needed a bass player. Because a real bass player sounded better than a MacBook. So.
Oh my god!
Slightly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Slightly
Lewis.
better. You know, the tone's consistent on a MacBook.
Man. All right, well, Lewis. Well, I need you to, if you're gonna watch this video, I need you to comment your comment that you would rebuttal here at this.
Yeah,
I can't defend your honor, you know.
No, neither can he. But we're literally so.
Man, he's just getting dragged through the mud. It's just like, wow. I was like, they're really just going in on Lewis, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. Yeah.
I feel like it's just what happens when you play bass in a band.
It's true. I played bass in a band in my band before this, and yeah, punished.
The butt of every joke, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Lewis, you know, I won't take a shit on you, but I will say, man, I'm not gonna let them stop. They're just gonna do it anyway. So I can't I'm just gonna try to stand here and block what I can, but you're not on here, so if you were, maybe that would be better,
Yeah,
or they might
yeah,
go, or they might go in even more, and then
Oh yeah,
oh, who
yeah.
knows?
That's
And
dangerous.
another
That's
thing,
dangerous.
They just keep going. The whole interview is just like Comedy Central roast Lewis. They're the basis of Citadel.
So, subtitle for the interview: Citadel hates Lewis. No context. Figure out in the interview.
Oh my
it's
god!
funny because
the
last interview we did was subtitled "They're not dicks." We're unproving that today.
Well, what a great follow up is that you guys are really living up to the truth that you guys aren't dicks.
No disclaimer. We love Lewis. He has a very pretty dog. Follow him on Instagram. He has a very pretty dog.
I like how the thing that you mentioned about him was that it wasn't about him. It's just that the fact that he has a very nice dog.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a deliberate backhand. We are currently still in the roast of Lewis.
Okay, cool. We just want to make sure. Yeah. His dog has an Instagram, so go follow that. Not actually Lewis. Just follow his dog's Instagram. That's really what the plug was. So, just
fair.
If his numbers go up, then we really did it, guys. No,
get them followers.
I will have to say your drummer is actually insane. So I very much again gave him on reaction video, which will come out probably around the same time this out. And I was just like, listen to Nightmare Frontier, and first song that I had ever listened of your band. I was just what rock has this band been under? It must be Australia is the rock are under. I felt like I had uncovered like the world's greatest, like, I don't know, just insanely talented band. Not to inflate your egos, because I feel like they're sky high right now, but I genuinely sat here after I'd done the reaction video. How is this so good? Like musicality wise, especially that last chorus in Nightmare Frontier, I was just like, bro, Russell went in. Who just asked him, this chorus is good, but like, how can we do it? Let me just my vocal runs over top of this, layer it out super well, and I was just like blown away. So I gotta give you guys a lot of kudos for that song, and then listen to Ulsile, and I just, man, this band's sick. So go check them out. They did not pay me to say this, but and 100% truth, did not get any sort of Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal to say said comments. They 3 songs, they were so good.
Sounds like you're complaining that we didn't pay you enough now, Brandon. Like, what's going on? Like, are we not
I'll be asking for a follow up later, honestly.
Yeah, the tip.
I don't even know what Venmo is.
We don't tip here in Australia, but you'd be expecting that. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, as an American, that's just what I expected. Which I found out very recently. I had another Australian band on, The Motion Below, and Ryan, their guitar player, was just like, he was in the States, and he was just like, "What's tipping?" And I was like, I had to, like, in my head, I was like, I didn't get it, but then I was like, well, he's also from Australia, so like differently in Australia, and so he was like, yeah, we don't tip in Australia. They're like, we actually pay our workers a livable. I guess I'm moving there then, because I'd very much like a livable wage. So shout out to America.
100%.
We do great things here.
What a dumpster fire.
Well, you can say that because you are in Australia, so fair enough.
Well, I'm also, like, I was born in Arizona, so
nice.
yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, I know. And so then I have this weird, like, part of my brain where sometimes machine, when you're paying with the card at a restaurant or whatever, it'll say, "Do you want to tip?" And I'm like, that'd be nice. No. But I'm like, but I know I could be better. You could,
yeah. But that's okay. I feel like all of the tips that you would make are now going to go actually to me because I made, those comments.
Oh, yeah. You've worked for it.
I've worked for it. Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
did.
It wasn't.
I'm just joking, guys. People actually they actually did not pay me to say that. I legitimately said that under my own free will. So, but you should go check it out because there will be links in the description. So you can go give them a follow, and then you can be the envy of all your friends when you find out that they're like a really sick band, and you found out about them. Yeah, I knew Citadel before they were big.
And you heard it here. And you heard it here first.
You did, yeah. Arguably. But in regards to the songs that you guys have out, which one would you recommend to a new check out? Yeah, obviously, I feel like I made my pick. What do you got?
My pick. Okay, you go.
You go. Oh, I think Malignant probably.
Okay.
I used to say Sundered Souls, which was our first single, because I thought that was kind of like a really good sum up of everything that we did. But I reckon Malignant is just a bit more of a good time, and it just bangs live. So I reckon Malignant's a good starting point, if not Nightmare Frontier. I think Nightmare Frontier is a huge flex, especially for our drummer Dane, because it is actually, that was the first song our drummer recorded. I recorded drums for the album, and which is why the album songs, the drums aren't as good, because we didn't have a drummer. So I was like, well, someone's got to do it. So I jumped in and did it.
No,
and
you did great.
We did Nightmare Frontier. Oh, thank you. Nightmare Frontier. Dane just kind of like he arrived.
He did arrive. Yeah, he made himself very known.
Yeah, and it's just. And like I think with the way the video really captures him as well, is just like such a flex. So Nightmare Frontier, I think, is a really good it is probably a great starting point because it's kind of like this is the band now. But I think Malignant is kind of like a really good. Hey, here's this band. This is what they're doing.
I would agree.
Yeah. Those would have been my two picks as well. Malignant is really consumable and pretty inoffensive. And then Nightmare Frontier points in the direction that we're probably going to go. Like it's a little bit got some darker tones that we won't always have, but a little bit faster, a little bit heavier. Dane can't be turned off. Still like leaning into the groove and adding a bunch of layers. Like Lewis will say a nice thing about Lewis. Lewis like works on a lot of like synths and stuff like that for that song, and so there's like lots of layers that he's done in there. So there's a lot of extra stuff that is like Citadel now. Whereas when we did the album, when we wrote it and while we were recording, it was just Nat, myself, and Liam. So Malignant if you want the safe pick, Nightmare Frontier if you want to see where we're going.
I would agree. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I feel like it was cool to go back and listen to some of the other stuff you had released prior to Nightmare, like almost a night and day sort of thing, where you're like, okay, I could see where they were coming from with like style and like material, like Nightmare Frontier, kind of songs and where you guys are going to be headed. Because it's already like I feel like you pull from bands I already genuinely love already and probably your favorite bands. So I'm curious which guys are going to be talking about in just a moment. But in regards to like the mentality out, everybody and insane Nightmare for that is the best way I can describe that song to anyone who has not listened. It's a very hot track, so I gotta give it props. And also, I wanted to make a comment on Russell. I watched the music video for Malignant after I watched Nightmare Frontier, and I was like, did this man changed up like complete styles? Like you look completely different. I almost thought like instinctually, I was like, did they get it? I was like, I wonder if Russell joined like recently, just because it was like a complete like look 180.
Yeah,
I don't know if you get that a lot, but I genuinely was like, everybody else looks the same for the most part, except for their like vocalist. He seems new-ish.
Yeah, yeah. I like got a haircut that morning. The haircut took like friggin' 48 minutes, and like normally I was just short back and sides. This guy's texturing every bit of hair, like a well manicured lawn. But Yeah, the jacket, and I used to have like a top knot. So, but I just got cleaned up for that one. I like to try different stuff, and I don't have like a look. So probably every music video, I'll just like in the music video for Parasite, our second song we ever put out. I'm pretty much wearing my wedding outfit, which is like a corduroy burgundy jacket. So it's just like it's all over the place. I can't pick a lane.
Yeah, I genuinely was just like, is this the same guy? Like, he looks, you know. And I just had a little concern, so I wanted to point it out. I'm glad that it's still the same old Russell you know and love. It's been with Citadel for. I just was
Yeah,
like,
we go way
I was
back.
like, wow, he had the full. Now he's got like the short hair, and then he had long hair with the top knot. I was just, a man's gone through some looks, so.
And that jacket was also me being like, "Hey guys, I'm quirky and American," because it's a vintage vintage Phoenix Suns jacket. So I don't know, I was going for some sort of points there. I don't know what points, because most people hate, like, here hate Americans. Most people everywhere seem to hate Americans, so it doesn't go well for me.
Wow, all right. We really took a dark turn on that one. You're like, man, so my looks changed and everybody hates me. You know,
well, so at least that's consistent.
To be fair, I don't hate you, Russell. So
I love you, Brendan. I love
you. But it was quite a look. So I was like, man's got range. Really what I want. That was really what I wanted to get down to the.
Thanks,
so
homie.
Yeah, crushed it. So go check out Nightmare Frontier. Great song. And then to follow that up, guys, who are you influenced by? Kind of got you started out in music early on. Who is kind of what affects it?
So for me, early on, like I've been in a bunch of just like pretty straight up metalcore bands. So the big influences for me were bands like Killswitch Engage, Trivium, As I Lay Dying before the scandals, and like kind of that crop, like Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Big fan. And then I sort of like Sleep Token just kind of came out of nowhere and sort of like blew my mind, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to do the synthy stuff and like the real like atmospheric stuff, and still make it heavy and fun and fast. Where like Sleep Token have like big drops and stuff, but it's less riff and more just like chunk. And
I got you, yeah.
I kind of was like, well, I have been writing riffs for 10 years. So what if we did that, but instead of just being pure chunk, let's just throw riffs in and just see how it goes. And that sort of like led the way. And then, around the same time as Sleep Token, you had Spirit Box, Currents were coming up. I got really into Invent Animate.
Oh yeah.
Loathe put out their album, and like that. Like I wouldn't say we're super influenced by them, but I was listening to it a lot, and I was like, man, how dark and like almost like oppressive the layers can get on that album. And I was like, man, how cool would it be to capture that? And in Australia, there's not really anyone doing that, so we were like, let's try it. Let's just see how it goes. So that kind of like all those has kind of funneled into what we're listening to and what we're thinking about when we write songs.
Russell?
Yeah. For my OG stuff, like I had a kind of all across the place journey. Like I didn't even like music until I was like 14. Like I was a choir boy, and I played sax in like alto sax and like all the school bands and stuff like that. So I had enough music in my life, and then I slowly got into music when I was probably 14, 15. Got into like, I think, Rage Against the Machine, and then System of a Down and Korn. Then quickly sort of jumped closer to more modern stuff with like, I don't know, Atreyu, Bullet for My Valentine. And then as the years have gone, like I've gone into more poppy stuff. Like I suddenly liked having like really big soaring choruses, got big into like Memphis May Fire for a hot second there. And over the last like handful of years, it's probably been it used to be Issues, again, pre bad stuff. And I think like Dayseeker and is probably my number one. Like Rory Rodriguez is the best in the industry at doing what he does. Been finding a lot of influence from like Belmont, the pop punk band, with their latest album, because there's like lots of like new metal and hip hop influence in their album, and it's really cool. But yeah, largely bit of Currents, bit of Spirit Box, Dayseeker, Sleep Token, Bill Murray.
Oh, I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at currently.
Yeah, I'm glad I kind of nailed it on the head a little bit. If I, I felt like and kind of pulled from one of my all-time favorite bands, Tesseract.
Oh, yes.
And I have guys kind of have that like really again. I think it has a lot to do with like Nat's guitar riffs. I'm like this has that like genty kind of like progressive metalcore feel to it that I just love. I gravitate a lot towards that because I play guitar in my free time. Like my brain automatically like geared towards like, oh, is that a good riff? Okay. I can say with surety that Nat does bring the riff. If you're a big riff fan, you're gonna like this stuff. I can guarantee it. But yeah, I feel like the three bands that I kind of referenced were Sleep Token, Tesseract, and also I don't know if I mentioned Issues, but I was definitely about that where I was like, if he doesn't say like some sort of like pop like essence in terms of like musicality, I'd be very surprised because especially with some of like the more melodies guys add into the like this feels very like vocally riffy. So I'm like, this has to be borrowing from like an R&B pop sort of styling that I'm like, not a lot of bands really, I feel like touch too much because I feel like you have to actually be good at doing those things in order to kind of put those into the music. And I also feel like you gotta have big cojones, so I feel like with what you guys do, I don't feel like it's over the top where you're like, man, this is just like a vocal riff salad. But I do feel like there's enough in there where you're like, okay, he's got chops. Like they're definitely there. And like if you are listening into it intently, musical side of things, instrumentation or vocal, I think you're gonna get that essence of like there's a lot of riffiness going on to it, but it's not overbearing where this is a lot. This is too much. You guys hit that nice threshold. Okay, you guys got a lot of skill, chill it down. Okay, but like not so much where you're like, okay, like you're not an asshole about it.
Yeah, like if I was trying as hard as Tyler Carter did, because like pre-cancellation again, Tyler Carter was like phenomenal, but he's always doing something.
Yeah.
If I was trying as hard as he did, I'd be an asshole.
Yes.
But he's also he's better than me. Like I got my poppy influence from him. He got his poppy influence from pop. So like if I was doing that, yeah, it'd be calm down and shut the hell up. But it's really cool. It's really cool that you mentioned Tesseract. Actually, I used to sweat. The second album is my favorite Tesseract album. I used to listen to that over and over and over and over again. Back in the day, I tried doing a uni assignment on it, talking about like the time signatures and everything. And then I found an interview where they were like, everything's in 4/4. And so I was like, oh, don't worry about it then. But I really,
you're like musical theory. Oh god. Okay, get that out of here.
Yeah, I was trying to have a really cool one, like, oh, they did 10, 11 for this one bar and going to 12/24 over here. And then I found an interview and he was like, all these fans keep going like, oh, I love this bit where you go into this groove and this groove. And they're like, oh, everything's in 4/4. We're just messing around. So then I was like, it's not going to be cool if I write a whole assignment on they're just messing around.
I love how the fact that like people that are like really like prog music are very like it's got to be this like they're like very nerdy about it, and the band comes out and they're like it's actually just in 4/4, just the way we layered it out, it sounds like it's actually time signature, and then all of the nerds are like like you like it's like you have blown their mind, like it's like as if you were standing there and then just like an explosion happens, like their whole world has been decimated.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Our drummer is always like talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, you did this really cool like 3/8 thing here, and this like 5/12 thing," and I'm like, "What? I just wrote in 4/4, bro. Like, I don't know what you mean." He goes, "Oh, but you did this." I'm like, "I didn't, but I'm glad you found that. I'm glad you found Jesus in that riff because I did
Yeah.
not put him in there."
Yeah. Dane has
I think it's funny
a jazz degree.
Oh, okay.
It's funny you mentioned Tesseract because I've never really listened to Tesseract, and I've had that said a few times, like, "Oh man, your riffs are like so much like Tesseract." So I've gone and listened to a bit of it. I'm like, I see it. Don't know where I found the influence from though, because that was an accident. I think it's sick though. Like they are great. Like when I've listened to them now, I'm like, this band's awesome. Where were they hiding from me? Because I don't know if they've toured here much or anything. Because I think I might have seen them at a festival once. But
Maybe twice.
yeah, I do really like them now. But writing the music, I wasn't really influenced by them.
That's
So that's just
insane.
a happy accident.
For real, yeah, that is for sure a heavy accent. Yeah, it's like it's so ingrained in my head where I was just kind of like listening to stuff, and it was almost like I feel like I shouldn't say this because it's so on the nose, but the fact that like Nat was just like, yeah, I actually never listened to them. That relieves me a ton. That I nailed it on the head, but didn't actually. So yeah, I feel like you guys have that, and I also see like the invent animate like kind of musicality as well too. I think there's a lot of like really bumpy riffs that like I probably would have heard off of like Heaven or their previous
I
album.
love the bounciness of like bands like Invent Animate, North Lane, as well. Even like kind of like mid-era architects like
yes,
All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us and Lost Together, Lost Forever. Like the way he just sort of dances up around like the 12th, 15th fret. Like I just really like that kind of stuff too. I don't want to copy anyone, but I'm just like, yeah, throwing in a little cheeky tail that like bounces off those those frets. It's just nice. Just sounds cool.
Yeah, I feel like bands are so about like getting like, and I don't get me wrong, I love a good like heavy like breakdown or sucker for. But I do like when bands kind of again move more up the neck a little bit more in terms of like the guitar work because I'm just like, man, there's just it sounds cheesy to say, but there's like so much untapped potential that like could riff wise could be so insane, and bands are like, yo, yeah, so 0-1 sick. I love that. So I appreciate the fact that Nat is going across the front, come up with some riff.
I got you. I got you, brother.
Thank you. I'll be keeping an eye out. I'm expecting the riff salad on the next one. But but yeah, you guys, you guys definitely hit that. Like again, that's kind of why I really like your band a lot. Was the sheer fact that I think you pull a lot from a lot of the bands that I love to this day, but kind of put it in a different format that I haven't really kind of heard in quite a bit. Like you definitely have like dark pop like overtone, and I think it has a lot to do, as Nat said, guys kind of create atmosphere around it, then have like some really cool like bouncy riff vocals kind of layer on top of that, where it's just like there's so much intricacy between the different kind of like Citadel that I think if you're like kind of a baseline fan, you're like, I like that. Like then you're gonna enjoy it. But I feel like if you're also like me, or you're very nerdy and you're, oh, I love part or part, you're gonna get so much more out of it because there's a lot of hidden things that I feel like I didn't even point out in my reaction video that I kind of went back and talked about. A lot of like intricate things in the song itself. More specifically, I'd say Nightmare Frontier. That I was just kind of like, holy shit, like this is wild, and I wish I had the time to break it down a little bit more. It was so well done. I think it makes me excited to hear new material as much as everybody's just like, I'm sure you got people that once you release the music videos are like, so, when's the new song coming out? And they're like, we just released a new one. And you're, well, I mean, like, well, you're gonna have to wait probably. So, like me, so
yeah.
Don't just keep spinning Nightmare Frontier a ton, and then
please.
maybe they'll wind up releasing another one. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah. We are working on some stuff at the moment. Currently, I've got to finish a few songs, and then we'll have some stuff in the bag, and we'll figure out exactly when. Like we have a general timeline, so it's good. And the next stuff that we have coming is probably our best across the board.
Big things coming.
Yeah,
every band says.
We were trying to avoid using the cliches, but yeah, big things coming. Stay tuned.
Pretty well-sized things, like they're good size.
Yeah, average size things will happen soon.
Yeah, like that big, right? That's average. What?
Yep.
Wow.
Damn, the glasses came off. You really disarmed it.
We're gonna just move on from that euphemism that people may or may not get. So
I don't know.
There's no way to know what you're talking about.
No, there's no.
Actually, I don't know what we're talking about. So we're gonna move it on to the next question, guys, which is what are you guys currently listening to? What is on your Spotify? What have you guys been listening to?
Let me pull up my Spotify search history.
Well,
let's go.
I've been in a bit of a bag personally. So I've been we both have been listening to like Dark Bloom by We Came as Romans, like probably the best We Came as Romans album that's come out in a little bit. But like everything they do is really solid. Those guys are incredible musicians. Still jumping back into the latest Sleep Token album. I probably haven't given it as much love as the others, and I probably need to get back into that a little bit because there's like Rain and Ascensionism. There's some incredible tracks on that, and I've been trying to wean myself off that Bad Omens album, but damn, it's good. You just I'm like, I need to not make this my number one played album. I don't know why, just because like I don't know, there'll be thousands and thousands of other people that'll have it as their number one.
And
but
Bad Omens is in the back, like, oh, I know you want to listen to.
It's like, you know what? You are in a concrete jungle. You are, and you will stay there, and you will continue to stay in the concrete jungle.
No, Sebastian's like hanging over you, like, yeah, you're gonna listen to that, right?
Yeah, he knows what he did. And without searching mine, I've been trying to get back to listening to more Joji. Like I'm a big Joji fan, but I didn't love the latest album as much. Like I much preferred Nectar over the latest one. Glimpse of Us is a sweet song, but it's like the album before just bangs, but like gently. I love that. I love the gentle
one. Still, I think top for.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Underrated in my own. I love ballads for like a car ride.
Sure.
Putting it on because there's so much just like so much vibe just going on.
Yeah.
And Slow Dancing in the Dark is one of my all-time favorite songs. All time. Like it's incredible. So I've been trying to get us to like work on a cover of that, but like none of us can all like agree on a cover. So that's what I want, is to do a cover of that.
This band will never do a cover. We can't decide. We all like different stuff.
Well, you won't have to wait much longer to pitch your song, because that is in fact the next question I'll ask. So
okay.
Nice. I work in a childcare center, so my Spotify current searched is a lot of kid stuff. So skipping past that, I've been listening to a ton of Sleep Token. Same as Russell, I haven't listened to the new album as much, even though I think it has some absolute bangers on it. Bad Omens still up there. I really love that album. I kind of resisted at first. I was like, it can't be as good as people say it is. The hype's too high.
That's what I thought too.
Like, I'm on TikTok a lot, so it's just pretend reaction videos over and over and over again. I was like, yeah, it's a good chorus, but is the band actually sick? And then I checked it out. I'm like, God damn it, they're fucking awesome. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm really into Ice Nine Kills at the moment. I was a late bloomer when it came to them. I really like I love metal that uses like the evil notes sometimes. Like I just need a fix of that sort of like that dark streak. And so like bands like them and Make Them Suffer and a lot of Devil Wears Prada as well, Upon a Burning Body, like those kind of like cheeky vibes I love. So Ice Nine Kills at top of the list for that. And I've also been going back and listening to a lot of new metal, like Limp Bizkit, Korn, Mudvayne, which a lot of people don't like because they're kind of rednecky, but they had a couple of songs on Need for Speed, and I grew up in the 2000s playing like EA sports games, so like like things like Papa Roach, Mudvayne, Rise Against. I don't know, I've just been in a video game soundtrack mood. Rob Zombie, like
everything's better
like
in a racing game.
Yeah,
kind of left of field really for me. Like I do love new metal, but like the more rednecky stuff I don't really like. But if it was on a soundtrack of a video game in the early to mid 2000s, I like it. Yeah. So that's just been on repeat.
I
would love to be the guy. Oh, go ahead, Russell. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just jumped back into my Spotify because I wanted to check. I was like, and I was just gonna throw another two out there that I was actually listening to yesterday. I didn't want to steal the spotlight, sorry, but one was like Enter Shikari, the latest album, which is like phenomenal. A kiss for the whole world. And it's like Enter Shikari is like my wife and I. It's like our band that we listen to together all the time. But do you know the Australian band called Inertia, Brendan?
It sounds familiar. I probably have heard of them, but I'll have to check them out.
They're super cool.
They're very cool, and they're just coming up into like some like they're bigger than us, but like in terms of international, I don't know how well they're doing, but they're not for long. Very, very talented.
Not if I had anything to do about it.
And Inertia are incredible. They do a Justin Timberlake cover in their backlog, and their latest album is very good. He's a very capable singer, like very good singer and screamer, and the riffs are nuts. It's very good. Would rate, and I've been smashing that a bit lately.
Ooh, okay, I'll have to check them out. I'll put Citadel and Inertia on. Watch this. Come on the show. We'd love to have you.
Also, Inertia, please love us. We don't know you, but please love us.
Yes, please do that too. That'd be great. So I was gonna say I would really love to be that one dude that was composer for like video game soundtracks that just like put together like some of the most banging like video game soundtracks, like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. Like whoever did that, kudos. Man, what a generational changer.
We could turn this into a top 10 soundtracks because, man, Need for Speed, Underground 1 and 2, and Most Wanted, SSX 3, SSX Tricky, man, Tony Hawk 2, 3, 4.
Have you guys seen the latest like NHL video game soundtracks? They're pretty
heavy, yeah.
And the NHL games are pretty sick too. So I could punch some fools to whatever they got banging in there.
Man, Forza Horizon, their soundtracks have been good too.
I think it's just crazy how much like the heavier music has kind of bleeded. Soundtracks. It's insane. Like, so kudos whoever is like doing work to try to find all these how they fit.
It's crazy. I've got a playlist that I made on Spotify called "It's Giving 2000s Video Game Vibes," and I just put as many of those bangers in there as I can, and it is an excellent like road trip playlist.
I love that. That sounds awesome. But guys, sure, if you are the guy that makes the soundtracks or girl that makes the soundtracks, get Citadel on it. They bang.
Oh, please. Do it. Man, the one of the working titles for Malignant was Need for Speed. Russell lived with me for a while, and I was like, this song, like, is it giving you Need for Speed vibes? It's giving me Need for Speed vibes. So, like, the first demo file on my hard drive is Need for Speed song.
Sick. Should have been named that. That would have been tight. I found out there's this Australian band. I forget their name. I'll have to see if I can throw that up. They did a cover of Gasolina. Like
Future Static.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's so insane. So I have to check. I saw like a clip of it, and I was just like, bro, this is giving me the Need for Speed Underground vibes that I've been missing out on. So I'm gonna have shout outs to Future Static because
Yeah.
That was clean.
That's a nuts pick as well, because that song is like my intrusive thought song. Like sometimes I just have in the back of my head for no reason. And the fact that they picked that song out of every song ever, like nuts. Very good call.
You guys
it's gonna
do
be
like
huge.
you guys do a cover of that Teriyaki Boy. So cute.
That's fun.
I feel like that would be tight.
Yes.
That would be my pick. If you guys could do a cover song, which we're gonna delve into right now.
And we don't sample the female vocal. Russell just does it.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah. Just take a bunch of helium, you'll be sick. It's gonna be tight.
That'd be so good.
I think that would be
huge.
that's my pick. I feel like if somebody's done Gasolina, I feel like you gotta follow it up with Teriyaki Boy.
No, you're right. You're right. This is where
There's no other choice.
That's what we have to. There's no other choice.
Oh, awesome! All right, so the rest of the man, you guys are just gonna have to get on board. That's really what comes down.
No, this will be the one that unifies us. This is the suggestion. We'll take it to the table, and everyone will be like, you know what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. That'd be so sick. So, wow.
You're really putting your imprint on this band.
I really nailed it. Honestly, I'm surprised. I didn't think you guys would be. I thought you would give me a little bit of a push, to be fair, but for you guys to both be like, "No, that's a good one. I like that." That means a lot. So. Awesome. Well, guys, if you don't have a choice, but you should go check out this cover song, and I'm gonna be stoked because I'm gonna probably, if they wind up doing a cover song, you boys gotta react to it. I'm gonna be patiently waiting for that day to come. So.
Me too.
Keep your eyes peeled. So. This would be the normal part where I would suggest to leave a comment on what you feel should cover, but I've already done that for you. So if you just want to give me the consolation that I did good and I'm a good interviewer, let me know down in the comments. If not, that's also fine too. I'll just go cry now. The next question I have for you guys is another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat?
Like Mexican food, probably. Like it's tough between like Indian, Mexican. Like I love foods that are together. So like underrated pick is just like a sandwich, because technically, especially in like the US, like a sandwich is also like a burger. Like everything here is a burger if it's if it's like on a large. They got no nuance here, but love a sandwich, just something in between bread, or a burrito, which is like something surrounded by bread. So that's probably my pick.
The big brain pick. I like that. All right.
I'm going to come to the defense of burgers after they've just been told that there's no nuance by Russell. Burgers are sick, and burgers probably. There's a place here called Get a Burger, which I try. Me and Russell get food a lot, and we try different burger places, and for me, Getter's just the best. And if not burgers, probably pasta. I like cooking pasta, so pasta's good.
What would you cook now? I have to know. So, in like the pasta wizard.
No, I wouldn't say wizard. I've made a really nice smoked salmon pasta recently, which was lit and kind of different. I like a good chicken, bacon, mushroom, and pesto pasta that slaps. And I don't know if it's the same in America, but here every single household has a different recipe for spaghetti bolognese, and it's kind of like the Australian dad food. And so I've learned from my dad, who has got Italian blood in him, so maybe it is like a heritage thing, but like how to make his version of spaghetti bolognese, which slaps. It's very good.
Oh, that's bolognese. That's what it's coming down to. Don't worry.
Yeah. When we tour,
you guys come to the States, I will cook for you guys.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be lit.
It feels weird to be given the kudos for cooking, because Russell actually is a great cook, and when Russell lived with me, I just stopped cooking because I was like, "Hey, bro, you're really good at cooking. Do you want to just cook for the house, which only consists of you and me?" And so Russell, I like going to Russell's house when he's gonna cook because it slaps.
I do my best. I left. Yeah. When I was living with him, like I think the last thing I cooked was like a giant baked mac and cheese with like chicken and bacon, and like I think I cooked it like 2 days before my wedding or something like that. So I just left him with his giant like thing of mac and cheese that he was eating for like the week after.
Is your party gift to him? Yeah.
I came back from his wedding
much.
super hungover and just sat in front of the TV watching a The Last of Us playthrough and ate the tray of pasta bake. It was great.
That sounds like a mood. I would be about that, you know.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Also,
guys, crush.
Also, I would like to clarify my burger comments because Brendan would understand. Like in here, everything we know is a burger is a burger. But over there in the US, there's like chicken sandwiches and I don't even know what the difference is because over there, there is nuance to a sandwich and a burger. Brandon, please explain to us what is the difference between a sandwich and a burger.
Ooh, this is tough. So I feel like sandwiches are like deli meat, you know, like if you get like a cheese, like condiments, stuff like that. That is what is considered like a sandwich.
No, same.
But then also like you get like a piece of chicken breast, they just slap all the same condiments on. Also say, bro,
yeah, see, that's the difference. That's where it changes here. Because
yeah.
It seems
still
to
a chicken
me,
burger
as an observer, that anything not beef in America is a sandwich. But if it's got a beef patty on it, it's a burger.
That's I would say you're probably pretty close. Yeah, because I think that most people would just like if you like a hamburger bun, you're like, oh, that's a burger. Then if you did like the same thing with like brown chicken, they'd be like, that's they either say I've heard some people say it's a chicken burger, which also is fair, but then somebody would also say, oh no, that's a chicken sandwich. Like, wait, what is it? And then and they'll have an argument, you know, about if it's a chicken sandwich or if it's a burger. And then they're about too many beers in at that point, and then they just have a fit, you know. So kudos American. We can't agree on anything. I don't think realistically.
That's so fair.
Like, that's not a chicken sandwich.
Would lie.
And then some guy will be like, you'll hear some guy at like the other end of the party be like, nah, bro, that's a chicken sandwich. And then they would like meet, you know, and they'd be like, what makes it a chicken sandwich? And you're like, this is this. And then, no, well, it's not a chicken sandwich because it's more closer to the burger that our friend made. Then they're like, no, well, it's not a burger. And then blah, blah, blah. Big kudos to, we don't know what food is. I think that's really what it comes down to.
It's all a conspiracy from Big Burger. Just trying to divide us. They're just trying to divide us, keep us divided, make sure that we can't unionize.
Stand together, guys.
Fight the
we gotta fight the Big Burger machine, guys.
Everything's political, even burgers.
Even burgers, yeah. So let us know what if I described it well. Let me know in the comments. If I didn't, do your best. Let Nat know of your stance because.
I need to know. I need answers.
Nat needs to know, you know. So I'm trying to be educated about Australian cuisine, and I'm hoping to pass that same American knowledge off to fellow Australians.
Yeah. We need to let the Australian people know.
We do, yeah. Even though like Australians hate America.
Yeah, they're not stoked. Yeah,
we're just telling people. Don't even need to. I also didn't want to make a comment about this, but I figure I might as well. We're just going down the rabbit hole. But I have had a lot of controversy around chicken parma. And I feel like
well, you did say it wrong.
It's a state thing. It's a state thing. So like in Queensland,
I like how Nat he just emphatically said you said it wrong, but we're gonna let you cook. We're gonna let you cook, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
you're a dumb American. We get you.
Chicken parma should be right, but in fact is not because it's chicken parmigiana. But like it's a parmy. Like a PARMY.
So here it's a palmy. You got to put the AH in it too. It's PAHMI. It's a palmy. And if you say Parma, you're from the south and
Parma. And as far as we're concerned, saying that you're from the South here is just as bad as it is saying it over there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're in some treacherous waters here, guys.
South of the New South Wales, Queensland border, or even just south of the Brisbane River, to be honest.
I didn't know it was such a contentious topic. That's really what it came down to. Was like I felt like I feel like I have offended people, which is not my intention whatsoever. I know normally most Americans are on their way to offend you, but I am not. So, but I do feel like whenever I have this conversation with Australians, I feel like they think a little less of me, you know, after I have had that conversation, you know, just a smidge, you know, whether they want it or not, you know.
If you went back to the motion below, who are from Victoria, and you said, Matt said it's army, they would be offended because Victorians take it far more seriously than we do. Like they're the ones on TikTok making fights about Palmy versus Palmer. See, up in Queensland, we're like, we don't care because it is Palmy, and there's no argument because we're already right, and there's no fight if one side's already right. Where the Victorians, they're coming to the ring, they've got their gloves on, they're like, it's Palmer. And then I was going to swear really bad, but I decided not to because you're American.
Oh, you're
good. I was going to drop the C, but
the C-bomb.
You know, we're family friendly.
Oh,
that's much more. That's much more casual here in Australia than
I did notice that. Yeah. I had some people like they're like, oh yeah, and then they said it to me. I was like, okay. I knew what it was already, but I was still like in my head instinctually, I was like, am I though? Like
yeah, it was on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, oh, pull back. My mum might watch this.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. You wouldn't have offended me. I would have been like, it would have given me a moment to process for a second, and I would have been like, should I be offended? And I'm like, wait, they're Australian, so that.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so then I was like, okay, so it's a term of endearment, but then like American. That's not a term of endearment in the States. In fact, it's the exact opposite of what a term of endearment is. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been here most of my life and still hearing that word sometimes. Like,
you're just like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's in a nasty context, though. Like,
okay.
You can, I don't know, there's just something about the way the syllables bounce if you know when you've been threatened or when you've been, you know, endeared.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I feel like that's some. I can imagine there's some words in English, you know, States where I'll say something and it could either be perceived as like, if you say it a certain way, you're like, oh, he means that, and then like in some ways, oh no, the homie, I got you. But yeah, guys, I didn't mean to make the comment about the chicken stuff. You know, pretend you just glazed over this. Next question, guys, is if you guys could have a dream collaboration on an up and coming Citadel track, who would you absolutely?
Ooh. Dream one's hard. You go, Russell.
My one pick, I'm pretty sure I'll go two, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss like what a real good one would be. But my primary two picks off the top of my head would be Roy Rodriguez, because he's so talented, and he features on so much, he does so much, but he just seems like so sweet, so talented, and he's got such a unique tone, and he's really capable of singing and screaming. The second pick there that I would go for would probably be Dave Stevens from We Came as Romans, because since he took over for vocals full time, you know, rest in peace, Kyle Pavone. He's phenomenal. He's really good, and his scream has so much energy, and his singing tone is incredible. And just having him on something would really carry a song. That would be huge. And I don't know if you've ever heard like Crucible, because the Crucible stuff is in. Yeah.
Big tone,
that was
baby.
huge. That was huge. So yeah, those are my two picks off the top of my head right now.
I think mine would not be just a vocal feature. I'd want to do like a proper like musical collaboration, and I think my choices would be churches or
Ooh, nice.
crosses. Old mate from Deftones, Chino's project. I would really love to like do a collab which really amps up our like the electronic side of things. I think it would be a really cool experiment, really cool vibe. Churches for the brighter, happier, kind of poppier, bouncy side, and then crosses for the more like intense, oppressive, dark side. I think that could be really cool.
Oh, I like that take. That's a good one. I think that would be cool. Also like kind of the cross pollination that artists have been having with heavy music. Like I feel like I'm pretty sure he's Australian. Phase One.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been crushing it. Like done some really great collabs recently, and I think he does some fantastic work. So I would Phase One if you're watching this. I mean,
Let's
send
go.
it.
hit us
Let's
up.
go.
Let's do it. You know, your
Yeah,
people talk to my
just
people.
like
Brandon
further
is our
to that.
people, so talk to Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's our new guy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like my favorite artist is this New Zealand duo called The Naked and Famous. I don't know if you've heard of them, Brandon.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're
It seems
kind of
familiar.
electronic, kind of punky, kind of like dream poppy, and they are like the artists that I listen to the most for like the synth stuff, but they're just not as big.
Sure.
So getting a bigger name would obviously be better for a collab. But yeah, a lot of our stuff, like the synthy stuff, comes from like that kind of world and like that kind of vibe. So that's where my brain goes when I want to like flex out and try something different. It's like let's be more electronic, not more metal.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the special something about even tonality of the way you guys kind of shape the songs. Like I think if you took out this kind of like have this like going through that catalog as well too, it just like such a staple thing that's part of Citadel that is almost like if that was thing then I feel like as Citadel as I've guys definitely have a sonic influence as well too, and I would love to see all of those collabs. So, guys, if you happen to know these people, hit them up. But also, if not, then you should tag Citadel on Instagram, and then all of the bands we just collab question mark. And I didn't go to law school, but if living on the internet for as long as I have been dictates anything, if it's on the internet, there's a good chance it could be real. So,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
if
right.
you want to make that
That's facts.
happen, then you do it up.
Yeah.
Also,
If
go
they
follow
don't
them.
decline, if they don't decline the invitation in 15 minutes, we're legally allowed to force them into a collaboration.
Wow. All right. Nat's gonna be laying down the hammer, so got it. So we're already locked and loaded. Our people talk to their people. We're good. So let's. Hopefully, you guys will
That's
listen to
good.
this insane collab track. I think it might be one of the biggest collab tracks of the year. So hopefully you're excited. I'm stoked. Got the chocolate chain of Moreno, so
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I have him on speed dial. I'm like, yeah, so yeah, Chino, yeah, I got this band. Like, oh, you've heard of them? Okay, we want to collab with you. Oh, you'd love to? Okay, that's it.
Oh, thanks for teeing that up, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no problem.
That was so quick and efficient.
Yeah, he's actually on my speed dial, my emergency contact. So
it really is who you know.
I also wanted to make a comment on me being a part of their team. I'm not. I feel like Ophelia would be very mad at me if I took her reigns as being goddess. So I can't. Not in the cards. So Ophelia, I'm not taking your job. I just want to let you know. I am only aiding in your jobs, and that helps out. But
we're all one big team. We're all
big one. Yeah, big family. That's what it came down to.
yeah.
But the next question, guys, I did allude to it earlier. I'm a huge nerd. So I love asking this question. If you guys could be a video game character,
Character.
Brandon, why didn't you tell us to do our homework?
I don't.
Um,
That's the point. I feel like I had to. I saw the pure shock on your guys' faces, and that brought me immense joy.
because it's
We love games.
whatever
Me and Russell love games.
whatever my choice is. I bet it's going to be wrong. Um,
You can give me a follow-up choice. You give me like a main choice, and then you can give me a, because I know you guys are gamers, so I respect it.
there's so much like, and I've just hit my like stride on being a really filthy human and playing more League of Legends. So my brain is like locked into like 180 champs, and none of them are probably a good call. No, actually, there would be some sick ones. And then, so like at the moment, I'm playing Jedi Survivor. So like, if I could just pick Cal Kestis, I could just be a Jedi. That would be lit, especially because also pro crossguard stance. Just FYI.
I did need to know that, so I appreciate it. Yeah,
controversial and brave.
Have you got one yet?
God damn, no, I don't really, because I know kind of the worlds that I would like to like be in, but like, so like my favorite worlds are like the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, but none of that is happy and good, and I would die so quick.
That's fair, yeah.
And even if I was a character in those, I'm either a boss who gets killed anyway, or I'm the character who dies a billion times against the boss. So there's no love to be found there. I did think maybe Kratos, but that feels like a bit of a boring answer. Just because he's so OP and just so dominating in video game culture right now. Everyone loves God of War. Everyone loves Ragnarok. But this is a really hard question. You have stumped me.
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
I was gonna say, at least Kratos has some nice character development, sort of, even though he's still boy.
You know what? I've picked. I'll be Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. I think I could handle, like, spoilers for a game that's like 25 years old, but I could handle that whole like identity crisis thing, I think. And then like that happens about halfway through the game. Like, he's got a kick-ass sword, he's got a cool squad of teammates. Sucks that his girlfriend died, but like, you know, you also get to fight Sephiroth. You were Sephiroth's friend for a while. Like, I don't know. I think Cloud's the pick.
I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. I rate that.
It's tough though. He goes through a lot, and he literally doesn't know who he is.
And then there's like Final Fantasy X is my favorite game ever. Could I be Tidus? But like, Tidus is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And then
you want
it's like, do I want to be one of the road trip boys from Final Fantasy 15? Like, they're having a good time all the time, but then, you know, Noctis, his whole family gets murdered, and then he's forced to marry someone he doesn't even like. So it's like, it's just the whole thing. Video game characters suffer.
And Buster Sword.
The Buster Sword, you know, the sword and having a cool talking dog in the party. I mean,
yeah. You're right. Big facts. Big and fats.
There's a guy with a gun for an arm who's like your best bud. There's a vampire guy wielding two guns who comes out of a coffin and goes, you know what? I'm going to join this party.
Vincent is very cool.
I'm going to say Tifa's in the party. I'm not going to say why it's a good thing that Tifa's in the party, but Tifa's in the party.
You're right. Yeah. I got you.
You got an old guy with a javelin, smoking cigarettes and building rockets in his backyard. Sid's pretty cool. It's a cool party. Cool. I reckon I'm Cloud Strife. I'm lock and loaded. Russell, you got to pick someone cooler than that now, because it's a competition.
It's a competition.
Mine does not get any cooler. All I can, like, I'm really struggling because all I can think about is what I'm playing currently. And like Nat and I have been playing Slay the Spire and Inscription lately, two like roguelike card games.
A bad choice. Do not do anyone from Inscription.
So I'm just like, I don't have enough. But like, I'm just gonna go with like one of my mains from League of Legends. So like, I don't know if anybody that's gonna watch this plays League. Like, I used to be an ADC main, and now the meta, like I had like a 7-year break from it. The meta now is like your support pretty much has to carry your lane, and so I don't want to rely on anyone. So I've been sort of moving out if I'm not dueling. I've been playing mid lane, and I only like playing Vex, who's a little Yordle who has a sentient shadow as her like power, and she's just like Daria with superpowers, and but so capable, like without even trying. And I love her energy. Partially matches my wife, so maybe there's a correlation there because she finds herself to be Daria at times. So I'm gonna go with Vex from League of Legends. Just moaning a whole lot, but not in a weird way. Not like that. Not like that. Stop that, Brendan.
God damn it! Back to the innuendo, Russell. Can't be trusted.
Bro,
man,
yeah.
And it's an average size of innuendo.
Yeah. What is an average size? Yeah. That's
what they say. That's what I've been told. At least it's average.
That's what the scientists say.
That's what my doctor says. I loved your answers. You guys really, because I knew, because as soon as Ophelia sent me the email about Citadel and it was just like Mass Effect inspired, I was like, bro, say less. Like, I was just like, I knew if I was going to ask a question to anybody, I knew you guys were going to bring the heat on the answer. But
I'm going to keep ruminating on this one because I'm still disappointed in myself. But even though Vex is all right, I love Vex.
If you come up with up with another one, you can just let me know and I'll throw text up on this. what you really wanted to pick.
I'll drop it in the comments when I think of it. Like 3 weeks later.
You're like, I really thought about this one really hard. I had so many sleepless nights. I was trying to feel. I asked my wife. She was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I feel like you had your like Charlie Day moment with like.
Yeah.
Like, Brandon gave me this insane question. I need to figure the answer out. Like, there's got to be a top tier pick to this question. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I like nerds. Nerds are cool. I am nerd. I play video game. Cool.
That's fair. If I talk to my wife about it, she'd pick personally probably a Fable, like a character from Fable 1 or 2, and then if we had to come to an agreement, we would probably pick the Inquisitor from Dragon Age 3, Dragon Age Inquisition. Ooh. But like that's such a make your own character. So it's like, what is that character?
John Cena. That's the character.
So whatever that race is in the game where they have the big bull horns. I'm a fake fan.
No, you're not. You were spreading the real good knowledge of. Oh, I'm not gonna revoke your video game. Definitely not doing that, guys. If you come after Russell, I'm gonna find you in the comments. So don't do it. Don't you dare do it on my show.
Yeah, please. I'm really sensitive.
Watching you.
I'm very sensitive. Please don't.
Great picks. I feel like if you were going to ask me, I feel like I gotta keep same energy. The character I always pick, I love Pokemon. That is my favorite video game. So I have to go with Gen 2's trainer. That's my
the trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, are we allowed to take over your podcast because you've gone into Pokemon now?
Yes.
What Pokemon would you be?
Oh, okay. So I'm keeping with the same gen. I feel like for me, I always pick fire starters, and I've always had for Typhlosion. I think
Typhlosion
so well designed.
Very cool.
In fact, enough to.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, here we go.
A plug for merch, but I got this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not Pokemon.
Yeah. No, I've never heard of Pokemon.
I don't know what this is. What is this? This is what is this guy?
Man, who would ever do a video game reference in their merch? Who would do that?
Who would do that? Who would name their band after an iconic video game series?
Hang on, here we go.
Oh.
That's gonna go it. So our latest run, we've got 2 shirts. One's with a Dark Souls reference. It's Solaire from Dark Souls 1. And then the second one is Miggy from Parasite.
Oh,
it's not gonna do it.
Oh yes, I love that. I rate.
It's all blurry. Hang on, I can fix this.
He's gonna unblur himself just for this moment.
He's taking over.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not praising the sun because that would be copyright infringement. He's praising the sunflower.
Where's your audio?
Your mic has disappeared. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
All right, sorry about that. He's not praising the sun. He's praising the sunflower.
The sunflower, yeah.
Agreed. Please don't sue us. Please don't.
I hope not too.
Sorry for that detour. The opportunity presented itself to plug our merch.
I got you. Well, if you guys are shipping to the States, I will certainly grab a shirt. I can't have enough video.
We're gonna grab yours for sure because Typhlosion is a very basic pick. He's a very and Cyndaquil also is just like one of the best like tier 1 starters.
What a cutie!
Like top tier.
Gotcha. If I did not have to pick Cyndaquil or Typhlosion, I just had to go straight off of any Pokemon. I love Flygon.
Hey,
oh man, excellent design, underrated dragon type.
So good.
Garchomp, has the mainstay. But listen, Flygon is for the true fans.
Yeah.
Talk about design.
I very much agree.
I literally got this insane little thing. Sandstorm.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Guys, I'm a nerd channel. That's all I need to. If people need to know anything about me, I'm a nerd. I just have a bunch. Yeah. Literally, my entire desk is just filled with Pokemon figures. I asked
the right question.
You asked the right question.
You did.
It's almost as pre-planned. Yeah. Make sure to like, comment. If you guys feel free to take over my video. I would love to start. I feel like I say this a lot, but I would love to start a video podcast at some point. But I know that there's just a plethora of video game podcasts. So I feel like I would get swallowed up in the
Me and Russell have floated a lot of ideas that I won't say just in case we do them. But every time we're like, oh, we should do this, we're like, but everyone else. But I feel like we got a couple of cool names in the bag that we could use and a few kind of good formats, how me and him kind of enjoy games together. It's we could do something, but it's also
yeah. I feel like that'd be good.
It's a lot of effort. You gotta we're trying to hustle a band off the ground. Trying to hustle a podcast / YouTube thing off the ground would just be too much. Seeing as we like not doing things, we like being chill.
You play video games,
and also,
Exactly.
And also, does the world need another 2 white dudes doing a podcast?
I'll come on and be your first guest. I'll come on and be your first guest, and then.
Please, we need that.
We'll break the white guys do video game podcast stereotype. You'll just get the Asian dude on here that's just oh yeah, cool. I like video games.
Here's Brandon. Definitely not a token. Definitely not a token character.
We asked him first because we know he would like video games. He's got a question in his show that he asked about video games.
That's fair. No, and obviously you're much more committed because, as nerdy as it gets for me, I've just got a couple of pop vinyls. I got Grogu over there. I got I got Full Metal Alchemist characters upstairs. So that's as nerdy as it gets over here.
Oh no, I'm full on nerd. I have up in my corner over here, which is I have Godzilla.
Oh.
I'll show it to you guys in a second, but yeah. So
that's huge.
I feel like for me, that. Whenever I find people that are really invested in video games, and except for the fact that you guys named after Mass Effect, moment in Mass Effect, I feel like I had to kind of shine a little bit of my nerd light on it. So
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I feel like you guys appreciated it, you know, like the
Oh yeah.
attention to detail.
We don't need to talk about music and riffs. We can talk about
Yeah.
games.
Video games, guys. Well, let us
Yeah.
know what games you guys have been playing down in the comments section below. Would love to know what you guys are rocking with now. Me personally, playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. It is
Oh yeah. Yeah.
one of the best
So good.
games. I would say is probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
I really love Breath of the Wild a ton. But man, the Kingdom. Insane.
Twilight Princess, though.
Twilight Princess is
Twilight
great.
Princess.
Yeah, I will agree. Very
Very
dark,
different.
edgy, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like out of the blue. Like I feel like if you're the moment like you know kind of a thing, because I don't think a lot of people like played it because they're like,
No.
too dark, you know.
And
Now
also,
it's
and
like
also the
sick.
Wii, who had a Wii.
We only talk about Wii Sports. That's the only game that matters.
That's a chef's kiss. I really need that Wii Sports vinyl.
I saw
really
it
need
too.
that.
I was like,
greatest musical intro thing of all time.
That's the collab we need.
Yeah,
that is the collab.
Yeah.
Can you guys, if you play a show, can you come out to the Wii set like opening, like the beginning, like that,
man.
like that thing?
This is like a kind of a callback to an unrelated thing, but my old band, we used to do different video game intros for our set walk on.
That'd be so sick.
So we did like the PS1 and PS2 startup music. We did for ages. We did Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like the like we did that. We did Metal Gear Solid once. Like we did a whole. I think we did the Pokemon Red and Blue. Like we did a whole lot because we were just like, you know what? Everyone was doing these really like Walking Dead and like intense ones. We're like, let's just have fun. Let's just fuck around and just like put a fun one on. And Citadel doesn't do anything like that yet, but we should.
That I feel like either that you should do the Wii opening song like when you.
I think the Wii one's a good shout.
Or I would love to hear like Mortal Kombat, like the back to combat. Yeah. That would go hard. I would give you the serve if you did that. So that's my picks.
Yeah, I played a bit of Tears of the Kingdom. I dropped off because me and Russell started playing Slay the Spire and then we played Inscription. And now I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, which is
I heard
it's
insane.
real good. It's real good. I'm really enjoying that. But there's a few games that I need to get to that are still in the backlog. I kind of want to platinum God of War Ragnarok. I need to get to Guardians of the Galaxy, which was years ago.
Oh,
now,
nice!
That's still sitting there. So there, I'm always chasing the backlog. I think Russell's kind of similar as well.
Yeah. What about you, Russell? Yeah. What game?
I've started Witcher 3 finally on my computer like ages ago, and I haven't really made a lot of progress on it because like there's so much going on. Like on my computer, I've got the computer for like multiplayer usually, but then like, Witcher 3 because it runs phenomenally. So sort of playing that, and I'm this close to starting the Amnesia Bunker, and then the last two Amnesia games, getting through them because I'm a big fan of horror games. I just started playing Backrooms with a friend, Escape the Backrooms last night, and that was stressful with a friend. Been playing a lot of League of Legends. We're thinking about getting back to ranked because 7 years ago we were like sort of high gold, and it'd be cool to get that grind and be really, I don't know, upset after every game because that's a choice. And
respect, yeah.
I'm pretty close to the end of Jedi Survivor, which has been really cool. I've been really it started off rough. I was like, it's too open. Like I loved how linear and how good the storytelling of Fallen Order was. But then once I got like a bit more mobility and stuff like that, I've been chasing everything, like every chest, every collectible, everything in Jedi Survivor. Really enjoying that. And then from there, I don't know what the next game is. Like, I kind of want to play Callisto Protocol because it's kind of like bad Dead Space, but it's also kind of like bad Dead Space. So I want to give that a go. God, I'm playing Sekiro with Nat. Actually, he likes watching me play games that
Ooh.
make me mad. So I'm like 2/3 of the way through Sekiro. Would you say maybe halfway? Oh, really?
I think you're about halfway.
Okay.
Just,
Oh,
I mean, this is already getting nerdy. I mean, like there's
I love it.
branching paths, different endings on those kind of Souls games. So, and you take that into consideration, you're about halfway through.
Whew.
Yeah, and then I had this. I keep having this urge to download NBA 2K23 because like I've seen all the 2K24 ads. I'm a big basketball guy. My brain is mostly taken up by basketball facts. I listen to like 6 or 7 NBA podcasts a week. And so like getting back to that would be cool, but it's also like such a grind. So
God, there's a lot of podcasts about basketball. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and I imagine the same term or phrase could be for like people who are very invested, like sports and stuff. Like, why are you watching a podcast about video games? And then the video game podcaster, like, why you watch 7 podcasts about sports constantly fight?
yeah.
But I genuinely like. I feel like with basketball, it might be, or just sports in general. I'm just like, okay, it's like you guys are all watching this play, or like figuring out how it's supposed to go, or like trades or something like that. And what would like another podcast say about a trade that would be different from one podcast saying? Because like I feel like it's just like the information is the same. At least I feel like with video games, like more nuance. Like like I feel like with athletes getting traded, other than like saying like here's the stats, blah blah blah. Like I'm just like, what else can someone else say other than that they got traded and going to this XYZ team? I don't know.
Yeah, that's so fair. Like I used to play really like a lot, and then my knees gave out and some family stuff. So like I was really keen to like really push on in basketball and try and go to college and stuff like that. And then so I'm like still really passionate about it, and I still play a bit, but I like hearing like I listen to a lot of podcasts with like some players, and they give their perspectives on what happened in like locker rooms, and then you get just like people talking about like trades. But sometimes it gets really nerdy, and sometimes like you just hear people that are like have opinions that are I don't know like I think are wrong, and that's what like makes me want to hear it.
Like controversial opinions.
It's like like why would you think that this player should go to here? Like yeah, but sometimes I'm like, I don't need to be listening to this, but I'm already listening to the podcast. Like I used to listen to so many, like when I used to drive for a job, like for a coffee roastery, I would listen to like Dungeons and Dragons podcasts, and that'd be like 7-8 hours every week of like a D&D podcast. So
chewing through the podcast.
Yeah.
But we'll move it on to the next question. If you guys were to have a dream tour lineup, including Citadel, who would be on?
Sleep Token.
That's fair.
Yeah. Do you want us to do an individual one, or do you want us to collaborate and build one together?
Ooh, why don't you do that? I like that.
Okay. All right. I agree. Sleep Token. Headlining, Russell? They headlining?
I mean, like, depends on what, like, if you're touring like Europe, then Sleep Token headline, because that's going to pack out. You know, if you do the US, it's still going to be huge, but it's not going to be as big. So I can go for Sleep Token.
I disagree. They sold out that entire US tour within like
you're right.
Minutes. So yeah,
because I was just thinking of that's fair. I was just thinking of Wembley Stadium and how it sold out in like
I was
like
going to say that also
something.
Sold out in like 15 minutes. So they're
but no, you're right. But no, you're right. That last tour like blew up. No, that's my bad. So yeah, freaking Sleep Token headliner.
Sleep Token.
And then like, do you put like a legacy band on there?
I don't know. Like maybe the Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, I'm liking that.
I think you and I could both come to the table on Devil Wears Prada.
Because the new album
come back on that. Yeah, that new album's so good.
It is. Yeah.
And that's your legacy band.
Yeah. Great.
And then
I would have thought we would. Oh, you go. No, you go.
I was gonna say I want to say one of the new metalcore. So like either Spirit Box, Bad Omens, Invent, Animate. That crop.
Spirit
is where
Box.
I'm going. Spirit Box is I think is the default choice.
Just like
But
because then also like having Courtney LaPlante on that tour like is a nice bit of change as well. I mean, like you can say like diversity, but also like it's really cool to hear like different things. And I think it'd be really cool to have them.
And then because I'm in my 30s, I don't want any more bands because 4 bands is enough. Because my knees and my back can't handle it.
Wait, so we got
But
Sleep Token, we got Spirit Box, Double West Prada, and us. Yeah, that checks out.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Also, as someone in my 30s, well, I try to work my knees out. I'm at the camera up.
Yeah.
8-man. I'm in front of me. He's like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody who's tall. You can't help it, but Christ, man. Can we just like, can you just like kneel down or something, man? Like,
no offense, but stop that.
No offense, but cut it out, man. It is. You need to chill, you know?
Yeah, you need to chill, dude. Think about someone else for once.
Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, you need to chill, man. No, okay, man. Shout out to all the tall people. All the don't beat me up at a show. Thank you. The next question I have for you guys is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Oh, man, spicy questions. Hard to choose.
I will. So I've just rewatched Castlevania on Netflix. We're like this close to the end, so I watched it with Nat, and we loved it. And like every fight scene, like is different. It's like there's not as many frames to the animation, but they have described their fights really well in a sense. So like it's really cool. That's a banger of a show. Lots of nuance, lots of gore. It's R-rated here, but it's very good, and even my wife loves that show. So that's probably up there. But like I've really enjoyed it. Like, I'd also possibly pick either like you go like Mandalorian. That's pretty good. Or go back to Star Wars again, maybe like second half of Star Wars Rebels or Clone Wars. Second half of Clone Wars.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, every season after season 2. Yeah.
Just not the first one.
Yeah, so that's my pick of shows, I think.
Man, I love TV. I love shows, and I don't know. I like this. I think the 2010s, just with like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, the first 3 seasons of Walking Dead. Like, there's some bangers in there, but I think Attack on Titan is my all-time favorite. Russell knows at any time I'm kind of depressed. I'm like, I'm watching Attack on Titan again. I need it. I need my comfort show. Such
a feel-good show, you know.
I know. You know what? It's perspective, you know, because it's like, well, I'm not getting eaten, or my mom's not getting eaten. My best friends aren't the bad guys. There's just some, it makes me appreciate what I have, which is just, a pretty good job and like a good life as a white man. So, I think Attack on Titan kind of just trumps everything. Is like it. I think it is just the best. It's just the coolest thing ever. Russell and like the group of friends that we hang out with were kind of the ones to really switch me onto it and be like, you really should commit to this show. And I did. And I was like, you guys were right. This is incredible.
I had a epiphany. Actually, what I might say is my number one favorite show, because I love it, was Mob Psycho 100. We're talking, you reminded me of that. I haven't watched anime for a while. And it's like, One Punch Man was cool, but Mob Psycho was phenomenal. And I was like watching it in bed at like midnight while my wife's asleep. And I was like laughing out loud. And I was like, not bad. It's so good. That's too many things. I have so much recency bias because I can't recall information.
Man, it really just shows how nerdy we are, though, just because we picked anime, which I don't even like anime, but I love Attack. Okay, I do, but like I don't like anime as much as the rest of my friends. But like Attack on
Yeah.
Titan is just so
I was gonna say to Nat, I was gonna like, who are you lying to? You're in good company now,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Like,
it's kind of a
definitely.
running joke, like with like our group of friends. Like they'll say anime. I'm like, I don't even like anime, but
But
I
then
need to
they'll
watch
say
more.
like a
And
very
I need
niche like
it.
anime show, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I like this show," and then you're like, "So you're not an anime fan, but you like were able to mention this anime show that maybe like a couple 100,000 people have watched." Or...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely not
Assassination
that level.
Classroom.
Oh, Assassination Classroom, ass class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still have to finish
Woo.
that, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a few in there. Like I really love Code Geass, which I
Oh,
know
Code
is a
Geass.
popular and highly rated anime, but not heaps of people in like my circles have watched it. So that
Code
makes me
Geass is
feel
good.
so much more nerdy than I am, or that I think I am, because I probably am.
We all are.
Movies though, I think my favorite movie of all time is The Matrix, and I
That's a
think
great
it
pick.
was Terminator 2 for a
Number
long
one?
time. Yeah, the first Matrix. And then it was Terminator 2 for ages, but the last time I watched it, I was like, if I had to choose, I think I'd watch The Matrix instead. I do love Terminator 2 though. I think like it's my dad's favorite movie, and me and my dad kind of bond over music, movies, and stuff. And so like it's kind of like a heartwarming, wholesome. Even though it's Terminator 2 and it's super violent, it's kind of heartwarming and wholesome for me because it's like reminds me of good times
Sure, yeah.
growing up, like a movie night with the old man. But yeah, The Matrix, like I just can't get over how hype it is when he gets hit by the train, and then like it's that fight scene in the subway,
Yes.
and
Oh.
Neo's like down for the count, and then he just gets up and he does the hand thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's overplayed, it's cliche, but it's so hype. And every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm so jazzed. This is the fucking best.
I also like, I
So,
want to
I
point out
think-
for Nat, I just want to say, I love that his comfort shows, I just want to say that it just makes Nat sound like a masochist. Like, he's just like, favorite show, Attack on Titan is my comfort show. I don't think most people would say that's my comfort show, because I've
No.
watched Attack on Titan and I was just like, I got through the first season, I was just like, how...
Bro.
I'm in a depression now. Like, how...
Yeah, legit.
like, I feel
Legit.
worse going. I felt worse
Agreed.
watching it, going through it. I was just like, Aaron is just like, I mean, I imagine he's got like a great like story arc, but I'm just like, man, he is depressed. Like shit. Like,
and the latest season stuff with Aaron, like that's a character arc, all right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Look, I know
season
I probably need therapy. Like, I think I've just said Terminator 2 is a comfort show and it's heartwarming, and I've said Attack on Titan is my comfort TV show. My favorite band, Sleep Token, which makes everyone depressed, and my favorite games are often about loss and feeling isolated and being alone. So maybe we're uncovering some real deep, dark things about me in this podcast. But
why get therapy when you can just be in a band? Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
See,
that's
we
true.
can
You're
schedule
right,
this
yeah.
podcast.
Or come on my show
basically,
and
we have-
talk about it. You know.
Yeah,
We have a
this is therapy.
therapist. We have a therapist agent with Ophelia who's just connecting me to therapy.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem.
So
We're
thank
just here unlocking the truth.
Russell. And here's Russell, who'll say something fun and lighthearted because he's such a goofy, happy boy.
I'm really struck because like I only watch movies socially. Like I don't like if I don't sit myself down to watch a movie, and so it's like about the hang. So I'm really struggling with movie. Like I don't want to pick like a Marvel movie. It's a bit like even though they're great, like they are good.
You could pick that. That's fine.
Russell, think about the good time happy movies we've watched together, like Midsummer,
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Hereditary is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. But
It is.
We recently rewatched it, and it's like that was great. I feel horrible.
Yep.
So
I want to cry,
yeah.
but it was a good time.
Yeah. So that's up there actually. But I really can't think because all I think of is like when I was younger, I used to think School of Rock was like my favorite movie of all time. I bought the DVD, and then I rewatched it, and I was like, I don't know, I like fell out of love with it. But it's still a classic. But at the moment, the only thing I can think of, again, recency bias, is like I guess I'm gonna go with like the Batman was really good, and that's the best one that I can think of lately. Like I really like the nuance. I recently watched the first two and a half. Oh my gosh, vampire movies. Hello, with Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah, there you go. I recently rewatched, like maybe in the last like 6 months, like the first two and a half Twilight movies, because I was like, you know what, Robert Pattinson is pretty good, and he was phenomenal as Batman. I thought that was really cool, really nuanced, and yeah, I'll go with that because I can't think of it off the top of my head at the moment now. So
I like that choice. I have yet to see that movie. I'll have to add it to my
Oh, it's awesome.
movies.
it's divisive, but I'm about it.
I don't think
I'm
it's
a big fan.
divisive. You know, I've watched a lot of the Batman movies time. I feel like for me, it's like who I think about as Batman is Michael Keaton. That you know, but
Okay.
but I really loved. I feel like he like suave, like Bruce Wayne kind of thing, and then also was
Yes.
I can kick your ass because Batman kind of thing. Get that
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
midpoint. So
Yeah, I agree. I was probably I kind of like all of them. Even like Batfleck,
Sure,
I thought was actually really cool. I just thought that like the context of DC movies was really rough. Like Batman
yeah.
versus Superman, that's a bit rough. The first Justice League, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst movies.
It's not good. No.
So bad.
Not
But
good.
the Zack Snyder
Cut.
one, I thought was really good. I thought it was actually very good.
I can't just get the bad taste of Justice League out of my mouth from the
it was bad.
For sure, it's so bad. Like actual vomit.
I have like
vomit.
PTSD, you know, like I'm just like, should I watch the Snyder Cut? And then I'm like, ooh, ooh, no.
Oh, for sure. We made a big thing of it. None of us were going to watch it unless we all did it together. Yeah.
It was good.
The bonding moment.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's just like our therapy session we're having right now for Nat.
Exactly.
Thank you for opening up.
I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you for being. I'm just gonna start talking in like a very soothing voice. Thank you, Nat, for sharing with us today. Very really opened up. So I'm gonna give you a gold star.
Oh,
thank you, Brandon.
Welcome.
I needed that. I need this.
Welcome. Thank you for being. The next question I have for you guys, and we may take this down. We may take this down a dark path, but the next question would be: is if you guys were stuck on a desert island for the next month, one album you can bring with you to listen to. What album?
You're so mean. Oh,
I feel like I'm a little less mean because I didn't say of all time. Like, you know, I could have.
yeah.
I could have really
It's
just.
a month. It's a month.
It's a month. You know. Yeah.
It's a month.
I'm gonna. I think I've got my answer pretty quick. I'm gonna go with one of two Enter Shikari albums, either the latest, "A Kiss for the Whole World," or "Flash Flood of Color." I feel Enter Shikari covers so many bases that it's like you can be a little bit depressed, but like it's like angry depressed at the same time. Then they've also got like Flash Flood of Color has one of my all-time favorite songs, "Arguing with Thermometers," which has like a little indie vibe, a little like dubstep to it, like a dubsteppy sort of breakdown situation. So like there's so much ground covered. So just for comfort, I might go with Flash Flood of Color from Enter Shikari as the albums because it's covering every base I can think of.
Choice.
I think I'm gonna have to go with like an old album, like a legacy album that I maybe grew up on, just because nostalgia goes a long way for me. It's a dead tie between self-titled Blink-182 album and Hybrid Theory by Linkin.
Oh, great choices.
Actually, you know what? I think
you need Hybrid Theory.
I think Blink edges it out because sometimes Hybrid Theory, when you get to the back half, it's like, all right, a place for my head, all right, pushing me away, all right, but
that's fair.
I think that Blink album doesn't have a bad song on it, even though I don't listen to heaps of Blink anymore. I was a massive Blink stan in my
Yeah.
teenage years.
Yeah.
So I think the Blink self-titled edges it out. I think that is
Yeah.
that is the one I'm
Good
thinking.
call.
It's only a month. When I get
Only a
back, I
month,
can listen
yeah.
to Hypertheory.
You can,
I
yeah.
think that's an all-time record for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
it is definitely in my top 5 of all time, and I think it's
Mhm.
the easiest to listen to that's in my top 5. That's like,
Yep.
you know, it's not Parkway Drive Horizons, which is hard and fast, and it's not, you know, something by it's not Sleep Token, which makes you depressed. It's
Mhm.
yeah, I think Blink gets it. I think self-titled Blink gets it.
It does have some sneaky depressing stuff on there though.
Oh, just enough though.
Mhm.
Because as we've learned today, the more dark and depressed something is, the happier I am. So I'll get to those depressed songs, and it'll turn me around, and I'll be like, you know what? I can swim off this island. I've got it. You've
Wow,
helped me realize that about myself, Brandon.
You're welcome. You know, I feel like I should go to. I feel like I should like go to become a therapist now at this point because I feel like I feel like I've unlocked some things about myself today I didn't know I could do. So now I feel vindicated.
Mm.
Guys, that's I'm gonna go to 6 years worth of uni, so or longer. All you Australian homies. That's college for all you American people. College. I do like when
Two of us
I
actually
will
talk
say
like that.
I will say I think it's great because like I love when Australian bands say they're like, yeah, I went to uni. Then I'm just like, that's nice. And he's like, oh, I went to college. I'm like, I also did too, but like there's just something about when, you know, there's something about it when somebody else says it differently than what you say. Other people are like, wow, Brandon said college. Nice. So I don't think so. If you did think that was nice, great. If not, then I'll say uni now. But all right.
It's a different experience too. College is still different to uni. Uni, we're just there at school and we go and get coffee. College, it's all happening there.
A lot, yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. But the last question I have for you guys is the ultimate big question, and all of my interviews. I know you're going to answer it well, so I'm worried. But I love interviewing bands. This has been a large passion project for well over now, and I want to know why you guys make music. Why is it important? Because I feel like you put a lot of blood to making music and doing it. So I kind of love knowing why bands do why they do it because I think it makes me realize like I'm finding other people that are passionate about what they make music. It's a tough thing to be in. So I know why you guys continue to press on. Keep doing Citadel.
Do you want to start, Russell?
I thought you spoke first, but if you want me to go, I can. All right.
Please.
Okay. So like for me, it's probably like a couple things. Like performing is really fun. Like I like to do things and be involved in like working with people. So like I like music being really collaborative. I hate doing music on my own. So like there's that part of like teamwork, which is also why I really like basketball, like competitive video games. Like I'm about teamwork and collaboration. So there's that aspect of it. In terms of like making music and putting it out there, like everyone has such a unique experience of life, even though there's so many different lives, like there's billions of people. Nothing really completely 100% overlaps. And so at least me being able to do what I've done. Like I used to be a choir boy in the concert band, a symphonic wind ensemble, and then getting into like all types of metal, like going through into like poppier stuff pretty quickly. Like I bring a lot with me and my influence So it's cool to be able to be like, hey, this is what I do, this is what my talent is, and this is how I can apply it to, for instance, like instrumentals that Nat makes. So I know that like it might not be the best thing ever. Like not trying to say that because I can make something unique, it's the coolest thing, but like it is something that I make and no one else has made. And then being able to see if people can relate to that lyrically, or just being like, yeah, cool, I like the way that note resolves inside of that section of the song. Like because music has such a physical effect on people. Um, that sort of stuff is what motivates me to have that eventual connection with, here's my unique experience, and how does it connect to your unique experience.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, for me, it's I think it's easiest to sum it up with like I've always felt like I just had something to say but didn't know how to say it. Um, I I try and make music tell a story, and I do that with the instrumentals sounding complete as possible without vocals. Um, and that's not because I don't want vocals on there. It's because I want the music to tell its story and the vocals to tell its story. And I feel like our best songs, and the best songs, not just from us, from anyone, is where you can take emotions and take meaning from both the music and the lyrics. And I think for me, uh, I when I started writing music, I wasn't as confident in speaking, and I wasn't as confident as like sharing my thoughts and feelings. So music was the way I did it. And I guess the more I've done it, it's less about that now, and it's more um, I like doing this, and I feel like the more I do it, the better I get, and the more I can connect with people and tell our story. It's not like I have a unique story to tell. It's just like I want emotions to come through the music, even if they're not necessarily deep emotions that I feel, but just like a story that's being told. And so that's kind of it. Like I see with Russell, me and Russell are kind of like the opposites. The thing he loves the most is performing, and that's great. The thing I love the most is kind of the individual aspect. Like I like
Sure.
creating the music and then bringing it to the table, and like that's great. And then collaborating is great, and then having the finished product's awesome. And I think that actually works really well for our band. Is like we're not all competing to do one thing. Where um, Russell enjoys performing, I like giving the band things to perform, and so I think that really works, and I really get a lot of fulfillment out of that.
Yeah, I also feel like it's very cyclical in that way too. I think that obvious, Russell performing aspect. Obviously, he would be able to perform anything. Music wasn't there, so I think that way, like guys are very complimentary. Where like the reason kind of reading that, but I mean, imagine reasoning why you wanted to do this was say how you want to feel or out emotion. That was kind of the reason why I even started interviewing bands. Was I used to be quiet and now I just talk out my ass all the time. So you could say that's a bad thing or not, whatever. Uh,
I
but
relate.
but I think it's like it gave me an outlet to speak about things that I really enjoyed, and then now it's kind of I find a lot of similarities in that story and kind of like feel that sort of kinship about it because that's kind of how I felt early on doing interviews where I was just like I'm doing it because I need to like in my head need to like work out why I can't speak to people and like other people will just have an easy time just rolling off the tongue can say what they ever. And I always felt like there was this way for me. Oh well, if I am able to talk about something that I like, then maybe that will kind of personality. And so I think it was like I can resonate with Nat's on making music because that was his outlet. Hey, maybe I'm feeling this way someday, and like that opportunity. And then Russell Dunn being able to perform these songs live and have crowd interaction. So, I think you guys both aspect to what is and highlight that. The therapy session is over. And I'm just kidding. The interview has come to a conclusion, but I feel like I always have to leave my guests with ultimate plug. So tell everyone where they can find Citadel at, what you guys have coming up in the next couple months, where they can grab this sick merch at, any sort of plug, things of that nature. I'm giving the floor to you guys. Tell them where they can find.
Instagram, Citadel AU, I believe is still our handle. Facebook, I might just be Citadel, it might be Citadel AU, because we try.
I think it's Citadel AU because there's a religious group called Citadel, and also a big cryptocurrency company. Citadel's not as unique as we thought.
And a movie that flopped. Yeah, that's yeah. You can find us on our socials, and then like if you find our Instagrams, then there's a link to like a link tree, everything that's on there. And you know, we've got some merch, and we'd love to send some stuff overseas. Like that would be great. And all of our music, Citadel on Spotify. We'd love to hear what people think about our music in the States. We can see you on Spotify if you listen to it overseas. We know you are there. So if those numbers pop up, yeah, if those numbers pop up, that would be sick. So yeah, Citadel AU just about everywhere, including YouTube, where we've got a handful of music videos for you to check out.
Go check them out. They're great. Well shot.
Yeah.
I also give a shout outs to whoever is doing the mix and master on your songs because chef's kiss, man. Woo!
Gareth Hargreaves, he's a wizard. He's mean and he's a bully, but he gets the best. Nah, he's all right. He gets the best out of us. He's I've worked with him on a bunch of projects, and he's one of the strongest and underappreciated producers on the Australian metal scene. I reckon he knows what he's doing. He's great to work with, and I think you asked like next few months. We are working on new music. Russell said, and like just doing this last batch of songs that we worked on with Gaz. He really gets us, and it's a really symbiotic relationship. And more people should check out his work because he is a wizard. And you mentioned our videos. Nick Hagens. We've done most of our videos with Nick Hagens, and he, again, great guy. Been in the scene in Queensland for a long time. I've known him a long time, and just one of the best behind the lens. He's awesome.
Yep.
He's also behind the lens.
Yeah, and he and so like with the music like coming out coming out in future, we're not 100% certain when we'll get a new song out. Where you'll at least hear something by the end of the year. If you follow us on socials, there will be at least news, and then we'll go from there, and we'll have a stack of stuff to come out after that hopefully everybody loves, and it'll be the Nightmare Frontier was the here's really who Citadel is and moving forward, and that's going to be a big this new stuff is going to be a big coming of age story for us. It'll be a new version of Citadel that really solidifies who we are, what we do, and what we want to do moving forward.
There we go. Well, guys, this is the start of the character arc for Citadel. So if you want to get in early right now, I want you to come back to this interview a year later and be Citadel out. I want you to come out right now. All of the links will be in the description. Go pick up merch. Go do it. Imagining the cost of very expensive. Always go do it. Guys, definitely kiss music. Tell you what, I like I said, really couldn't have set me one of the best bands that I've heard this year. So please go show them some love. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go follow them on all their social platforms. That would be really. I already subscribed to their YouTube channel, so don't be like me and subscribe because that's what you should do. But do it, and then you won't miss out on when they drop a new music video and new music because you'll be the first to know. So please go do that. Go follow them on Spotify as well. I'm gonna go do that. Probably spin on this, so do that.
Huge.
Enjoy this interview. Share, like, and subscribe. It does go a long way. Massive shouts to Ophelia again, and guys are coming on.
Yeah, and you guys better like and subscribe because he promoted us. So, like, if you're here, you better watch more of these interviews with Brendan because he's the man.
Awesome, guys.
That was the best.